What do you think of when you think of an Arab? Somebody with a towel on their head. Camel and maybe some sand. Want to throw a pyramid in there? Well, guess who's here? Right on our stage. This itself would not have been possible not long ago. Idwārd Saʿīd joins us, professor of English, Columbia University, member of the Palestine National Council, to which umbrella organization belongs the PLO. You were born in Jerusalem and raised in Egypt and Palestine. You are currently a United States citizen. Kenneth Jacobson, Director of Middle Eastern Affairs for the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith. You don't want to talk to Mr. Saঈd unless the PLO declines or moves away from its stated policy of destroying Israel. If the PLO doesn't recognize Israel's right to exist, then I suppose there's some passionate people who might think you are betraying Israel to even appear with the man. Is it that bad out there now?
It's not that bad out there now. It's been bad for a while in the sense that you have to have something to talk about. When someone says to you his basic assumption in speaking to you is that you don't have a right to exist, where do you go from there?
It's off-putting, yes. Mr. Saঈd, Professor Saঈd, how do you respond to that?
No, I think the basic thing is whether people want to talk about peace and about the real issue, which is the land, and whether it can be divided
but
to accommodate
I think I hear him saying
people.
he might be willing to discuss that if the PLO would acknowledge Israel's legitimate right to exist.
Well, I mean, what about the Israeli recognition of the Palestinian people as a political factor, as a community with a claim?
But I won't marry you unless you love me, and I won't say unless you say it first, and now we're never going to get married.
No, I'm not saying that. I said, why not have a mutual recognition in which the people recognize each other?
Perhaps we can do something today. We have here a wonderful opportunity. Two moderates from either side sitting
I don't
together,
necessarily
hopefully
accept that
talking to each
definition.
other.
Well, I mean, he doesn't
You don't want to be called a
We
moderate?
want to talk to each other.
I'd be happy to be called a moderate, but I really question whether anyone who's supporting the PLO can be defined as moderate.
Well, can I say something? Look, I think...
We are not here to score points.
No, I mean, I think the main point...
We are here to talk about matters of life and death, matters of
they know
war
that.
and peace.
No, but don't
Let us not
squelch
score
the gnats.
points
This is
in
a
the
natural
debate.
expression of enthusiasm. They want to save babies, too.
Could I just say
Professor
something?
Saঈd,
Yeah,
sir.
look, I think the main point is, if you want to negotiate some kind of peace with justice, you cannot legislate in advance who's going to represent whom. The Israeli position and the position of the ADL is that we are not only entitled to decide what to talk about, but we're going to decide who to talk to. Now, the Palestinians have their own representatives, and they've never found, nobody has found any other representatives of the Palestinians except the PLO. Now, we don't say we will not talk to the Israeli government because they don't, I mean, after all, it was the Israeli government, that dispossessed the Palestinians, that destroyed Lebanon in 1982, killed...
No,
I mean...
the Israeli government is not...
I'm saying...
Lebanon has been destroying itself since 100 years.
The same thing. Let's.
No, but I mean, why can't people pick their own
why isn't it the
representatives?
same thing? Just hang on 1 second. Why couldn't the PLO decline to talk to Israel because Ariel Sharon, a duly authorized member of the, presided over the bombing of Beirut?
I'm saying it's a faulty argument.
Why couldn't Russia refuse to talk to us because we bombed Libya? It goes on and on. I'm not saying this is easy, but don't we save more babies by at least getting into the same room?
We have to talk.
Getting into the same room.